Lesson 13.3, graphing functions. A function, that word, function, refers to points on a graph, okay? Emily and Liz, you're off track. A function is a set of numbers that relate in some way. They go together in some way. Maybe you start at -5, and there's a pattern. How do you get to -20? 5 and -20. 2, -10. Sorry, -2, -10.
-5 is -20, so that would be -5 times times 4.
Yeah, this one should be -8, right?
Yeah.
There we go. So yeah, times 4. There's a pattern here of times 4. 0 times 4 is 0, so that works. And 4 times 4 is 16. So this is a function. It's called a function because these numbers are related by multiplying by 4. Now that's just an example. There's an infinite number of examples. Okay? Some common functions are converting measurements. So for example, 1 yard equals 3 feet, right? So 2 yards equals what? 6 feet. And 3 yards equals 9 feet. 1 foot equals 12 inches. So 2 feet equal 24 inches. And 3 feet equal 36 inches. Those are examples of functions because every time one goes up, the other one goes up. Or every time one changes, the other changes in a pattern. And so we can graph a pattern like that. We can graph this pattern of numbers, this function, -5, 20. Sorry, -5, -20. So we could go over -5 and down 20 and mark that point. And we could go over -2 and down 8 and mark that point. And we could mark 0, 0 in our pattern. And we could mark 4, 16 in our pattern. And when you mark all those points, what do you have? A line. Yep. This line represents the function. Okay? It represents what the numbers are doing. What are they doing? As they're going to the right, as the numbers on the X are going to the right, what are the numbers on the Y doing? Are they going up or down? They're going up. Yep. That's called a positive correlation or a positive slope or a positive relationship between those two numbers. Okay? Now, not every function is a positive correlation. Some of them are negative correlations. Some of them, as one goes down, the other one goes up, and so on. Let's take a look at your assignment and the lesson in your packet. Look at these examples. Number 1. It says, graph the data on a coordinate plane and write an equation relating y and x. use the equation to find the missing value of y. So, let's start by writing and putting those points on the graph. The first set of numbers is -2, -7. Now, instead of writing them as an ordered pair, they're written on a table. But they mean the same thing. The x number is -2, and the y number is -7. So find that point on the graph. -2, -7. -1, -5. 1, -1. 2, 1. Now, those don't go through 0, 0, do they? Nope. If we draw that line, you can use a straight edge to draw that line. When x is 0, what is y? Where does it go through the y? -2? No, look on yours. And fill in the pattern of dots. Where does it cross the y, Jennifer? -3. Yep. Right here. So the missing value is what? -3. Zero, -3. Now, can you think what would give us -3? This is the hard part. And you might not get all of these answers. See if you can come up with a way of getting -3 when x is 0.
+2.
Plus, how about plus -3?
Oh, I was doing it on the lines.
So, y equals x plus -3. That would be a way of writing that. When x is 1,
Yeah, -1.
yeah,
Plus -3.
so we'd have to multiply something as well. We start with a hard one here. But if you multiply x is 1 and we multiply it by something and then add, so if we multiply it by 2 and we add -3, or then we get -1, okay? Because 2 plus -3 is -1. Okay? That's okay, you don't have to get that part. What I really want you to do is just try to graph the equations, and then try to find the missing value when you draw a line. So let's do the next one. Let's practice graphing. -2, -4. Mark that point. -1, -1. 0, 0, 2. Oh, wait a second. Did you notice something on the y coordinates, on the y-axis? There's no -1. It means that the interval is 2, isn't it? So the next point is here, 0, 2, and then 1, something, and then 2, 8. When you draw that line, what does 1 go through?
6.
It's in 6. 1. And right there. So 5. Kind of between 4 and 6, right in between 4 and 6. You draw a straight line, goes through 5, doesn't it? So then, use the line to find the missing value, okay? Do the same thing for the top two. Draw a line to find the missing value, okay? Nate?
For number 1, it says -3.
Start with -6, 2, -2. So left 6, down 2. -3,
Which is no.
down 1. Well, it is somewhere, it's just not labeled. Remember, the interval doesn't mean that the number doesn't exist. It just means it's in between -2 and -4. Okay? And in between 0 and -2 is -1. So that's where that dot should go. Yep. And then 0, 0, that one is marked. And then 3, which is there, and 1, which is in the middle. So when you draw the line, what would 1 be? Just up a little bit.
It would be just
1, 1.
Or 1, 0.
Maybe if, no, a little above 0.
1, 1.
1/2 or 1/3 even, yep. Either a half or a third. Yes,
Just like kind of in the future, how would you do number 3?
well, did you mark the point? -1, -3? So start with, again, the first point, -1, -3.
Oh, no, for number 3.
For number 3. You said number 2, didn't you?
No,
You said number 3.
Oh, okay.
In the
Well,
future.
in the future, yeah, let's just say that you were doing number 3. This is how you would do it. A store gives 10 free gifts with each laptop it sells. Make a table relating sales of 1 to 5 laptops to the number of gifts given. Well, let's start with that. 10 free gifts with each laptop. So let's say that the X is the number of laptops and the Y is the number of gifts. Okay? So every time they sell one laptop, they get what?
10.
10 gifts.
So it would be
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. and find the pattern. No.
You kind of confused the way you put it, but it's okay.
Yep.
Because you're.
How about
You're just go ahead.
number 4? Quiet, please. Number 4. Sam earns $25 per hour solving computer problems. Make a table relating 1 to 5 hours. So, if this is the hours, and this is the salary, or the wages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For every hour, he earns how much?
25.
25. And so on. Now, when you're writing a, it says write a function rule, x and y. How do you get from x to y?
Times.
Yeah, x times 10, right? How about number 4? How do you get from x to y? Yeah, so x times 25. Does that make sense? So what we're talking about, it's kind of simple stuff. You know, times 10, times 25, there's simple patterns. And what we're learning how to do is organize those patterns. And you're learning words like function, and you're learning words like graphing the function, and writing an equation, and practicing those things, so that you know what those things are when we get to pre-algebra, okay? These are ways of graphing data. And these are things that we're going to be doing a lot next year, is graphing these lines. Yep. Okay. Any questions on this lesson? All right.